Task 1. Task 2. In the code of the task 1, first I created the form element enum that holds the four values of all text, check and drop, which indicate the type of the widgets that are to be shown on the screen. Next, to indicate the selected type, I created a form element variable called selected type and set it to form element dot all initially, which means it's equalized to the all value initially to show all the elements on the screen at the beginning of the program. So next, I edited the build function of this my homepage state class. Under the column, I put a drop-down button type of form element as wanted in the assignment paper. To for By using its value property, I hold its value. I hold the drop-down button's value first, and as I explained before, I use the selected type variable for that. And next, to show the selectable items of the drop-down button, I use its items property. And inside of that, I returned one drop-down menu item for each element in the form element enum. And I achieved this goal by using the map function. The values default method returns all the values of the corresponding enum. Here, what I'm doing is for each form element item, return a drop-down menu item and give its values as E. E is the signature of the callback function here, and return a text that indicates the name of the item. As item names are the types, it resolved my problem here. And to be able to show the elements in the drop-down button, I needed to convert them to list by using the to list default method. Since items property wants a list, as can be seen here, a drop-down menu item list. Next, when to say Flutter, I changed the value of the drop-down button. I used the onChange property of the drop-down button, and I use the set state within to notice the Flutter that I changed the value. So know it, and I set the selected type to the selected value. Value indicates that the next value I change here. So next, I didn't change anything about the UI, but I added three ifs at the beginning of each UI element, one if for each UI element. So for the text form field, if all items are to be shown or the text items to be shown, but which means that if all is selected or text is selected, show the text form field. For the checkbox, if all is selected or check is selected, show the checkbox. And at last, for the drop down button, if all is selected or drop is selected, show the drop down. Obviously, the send button is outside of this condition checks because we need to be able to update the data independently. For the task two, I only changed the all usages of the variable called drop-down value, which I used for the tracking the values at the selected value of the drop-down button. I changed it with the checker variable, which I used to track out the value of the checkbox. So I changed the fields where I have used the drop-down value variable here in the drop-down button section. I changed its value property with the checker. Also, I set its value to the checker. In addition, I showed the text. I changed the content variables content, where I showed the values of the widgets. Here, there was beforehand drop-down value existed, but since it does not exist, I changed it with the checker as well. These two indicate the same value as intended. Evidence for test one. Since it is a continuation of the homework tree, there will be lots of history here. And I will try to find the beginning of this uh, task, this homework. So this is the start point of the homework, it seems, because I'm trying to add the drop-down button here. Oh, sorry, let's continue. It seems I still try to add the drop-down button, but I don't know why all are scanned here. I didn't change anything except the top of the build function. So I wrapped the column with a drop-down button at the beginning. Uh, because it may be the cause of this behavior of the IntelliJ. So here I carried the enum. It was at the bottom of the screen or bottom of the code before. I took it to the top of the screen. I first tried to have a list of the enum and tried to show it on the screen. Actually, I did it eventually, but I couldn't achieve my goal initially by using this form. I did it after trying the other the methods later on. But this should be a valid solution as well because I only use the map function inside. Probably I made a syntax error whilst trying this approach. Next, I added the selected type variable to check the element which is selected. And here I'm returning the necessary data in the drop-down button. Next, it seems I I have finished the showing drop-down showing part and adding the if conditions, but I don't know why only the first one is shown on the screen. I added three if conditions. It is not shown on screen, but it is on the code. Let's click on this and see. Yes, as can be seen here, there are three if conditions added to the code. Evidence for task 2. I had very little code change. As I explained, I deleted the drop-down value variable and changed its usages. I don't know why it does not shown here. Uh, let's look at the other stats. As it's seen here, the drop-down value is changed with the checker here as well and here as well.